think that Lydian is probably one of the most underrated modes out of the 7 modes. Maybe it's just my favorite, but Lydian always has this special ability to transport me somewhere. I think this lesson is going to be cool for deadheads. Specifically, I like putting a lot of what I teach into the context of the Grateful Dead Songbook. But the core concept is it's applicative to so much more than Grateful Dead music, you know? That's the cool thing about Lydian. Lydian is the sound of like infinity. It extends beyond anything. The sound of it, the sum of the sound is greater than any part. And what's so crazy about it to me is that you're just altering one note in the major scale, and then all of a sudden you're just in this magical realm. And it's something that I try to tell people all the time. You know, like modes aren't a scale; they're like a place and a feeling. Lydian is like an emotion, and I think it's so powerful that you can change one note in a scale that you're super familiar with. And you just think about scales, it sounds like scales. But you change one note and you give it the right intention, and then you're off in some other world. It's just so special and so cool. I think at its core level, how do you get to Lydian as quick as humanly possible? You can just take, let's say, the tonic of E major, and you shift it up to an F sharp major. Literally all I'm doing right there is playing the bottom of this E shape, right? And I'm barring. You could play an entire F sharp bar chord. I'm listening. I'm using my acoustic because it has fretboard markers to make this easier for you guys. And you can just lift off so you're not playing the top B and E string, right? Those are just open, and you still have this bottom. It's a cool chord, right? That's the foundation of Lydian, in my opinion. Let me show you one other cool chord. It's just 2 notes, but you don't play the A string, but you play the E open. You're hitting the 6th fret on the D, 3rd on the G. Isn't that a cool chord? It still has this Lydian kind of flavor to it because you have the sharp 4, which I'll talk about in a second, but it just has this cool mystique to it. Anywho, so the foundation of the Lydian kind of chordal sound is an E to an F sharp major. If you want to throw in some other passing chords, you can, you know. Do like a G sharp minor. You can. Or to like a B to an F sharp, you know, have that kind of heroic. All those types of things kind of work for Lydian. So I'm going to put up the scale that we all know and love. So for an E major, we got the E major scale, right? We all know this. Starting at the 12th fret. Right? You know? It's great. We all know it. Love it. Well, let's count the intervals, because I know everybody that watches these videos are at different stages of their kind of guitar career. A lot of people say that what I'm doing is dumbed down or it's too fast. You know, it's hard to find the Goldilocks. But if we have the major scale, right, E is our tonic, our 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we have our 4 right here on the B string at the 10th fret, if I say sharp 4, it just means. So if you play the major scale with a sharp 4 instead of that natural 4 or the 4 on the 10th fret, and you play it on the 11th fret, you have that kind of Lydian. And I like thinking about it this way because I'm always talking about things as modified pentatonics. And right here is the major pentatonic, right? Right? I always talk about, you know, if you can If you play the tonic and you play the pentatonic going down from it and it works, you're in major pentatonic. If you play the tonic and you can play the pentatonic going up from it, you're in a minor. So here's E and we're playing down. We know that we're in E major pentatonic, and because I've done all my homework, I can play it everywhere. Great. And now the only thing I need to do to think I'm in Lydian is I can play the major scale everywhere, but instead of that 4, I just play the sharp 4. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's why, you know, people are always telling you got to learn the notes, you got to learn this, that, and the other. You can always learn that stuff later, but being able to just hear it and find it and play it immediately, there's a lot of value to that. So don't let other people, you know, tell you you're doing things wrong. Nobody's doing things wrong when they're learning music. Just find what works for you. And so this is what worked for me. Putting things into the context of a modified pentatonic, because pentatonic notes are like, they're like earth tones. It's like beige. You can paint anything you want over it. They're very inoffensive sounds. But they're pleasant. People like them. So I like having that as a framework, because if something gets kind of weird, you can always revert back to your... I feel like I'm out of tune, but you can always revert to those. But if you want to get spicy, right? You can always add in those notes. And if you know your this ties into like my ACE system. I'm only talking about the top 3 notes because that's where a lot of the melody is happening, and it's just easier to talk about. But if you know your C shape for E, right? Or you can be D shape, whatever. But this kind of triangle where you have 4 on the E, 5 on the B, 4 on the G. You just move that up to an F sharp, right? Do a little arpeggio. And I've taught it before, and I can just very, very briefly show you guys, you know, the anchor lick where you play the first note in like a triad and anchor it and slide it back and forth. That type of idea. You can do that with these 2 kind of Lydian chords, and it's pretty cool. So that's the general concept. That's the foundational concept of the actual scale and what note we're kind of changing. And I wanted to show you with the guitar with the fretboard markers. But I have a little loop. I'm going to go into electric territory just so I can show you the sound and the feel. That's the thing I really want you guys to really take away from these videos. Sure, I'm showing you how to find things and the tools, but what does Lydian sound like? And when do you know to use this? It's when you hear Lydian. That's when you're like, okay, if you know what key you're in, right, you can find your key usually by just finding the tonic and then figuring out if the pentatonic goes up or down. You know that you're in major or minor. All this stuff is in my previous videos. Also, I'm taking a pause on doing private lessons, but I do want to encourage people to join my membership thing. I think it's called Amazing Blazing Phrasing. I want to grow that so I can start doing live guitar hangs. We can watch videos together. I can't do all that stuff here because I'll get copyright striked or whatever. But if I have a private kind of hang with you guys, I can do all that stuff without worrying about getting copyright strikes on my channel and all that stuff. And we can have like live group guitar lessons and stuff. Anywho, all right. Let's hear what Lydian sounds like. And there's always new people tuning into my videos. So this is a modified Ed O'Brien Stratocaster, which I guess they stopped making, which is kind of a bummer, with a Warmoth neck on it. And if you like my tones and you play a Helix system, I also sell my Helix tones. I have a link in the description. I'm turning into a just like a classic YouTube guy, I guess. All right. So this is a F sharp and E progression. It's exactly what I showed you. It just has a constant pulse to it. Right? Nothing really to that. E, and I'm playing that cool chord, that open chord I showed you. And it's just applying everything that I told you already. We're in E major. Right? If you play E major over it, pentatonic, it's okay. It's not offensive. It's not super cool. But when you add that sharp 4, boom, immediate Lydian. There's something so special about the sharp 4. Especially when a band all starts locking together to really hit that. Yeah, it's very interesting that the 2 and the sharp 4, well, I mean, they create a nice little harmonization there, but if a bass is going and adding that F sharp, then suddenly you have all this context and weight and gravity for that sharp 4. Maybe there's this personalization thing that happens. Like for some reason, when I play Lydian, there's just so many melodies that I can hear and I can feel deep inside that I want to find or play. And maybe that's unique to me. And maybe that's why I love Lydian. And maybe for other people, there's modes that just resonate. But for me, Lydian is just, there's something so achingly beautiful about it. It's very nostalgic. It's very, there's something very important that needs to happen. Like there's some, maybe it's because you're moving up a whole step and moving back. It kind of has this it's like you're following forward musically or melodically or something, you know? I don't know. But I hope Lydian is what I hear when I make it to heaven, if I make it there. Whoops. Well, that's not what Lydian sounds like. It is interesting, though. You know, I play a lot of Grateful Dead music, and there's not a lot of examples of Lydian. You know, there's the intro to Terrapin Station, which is why I think it's so special sounding, and a lot of people, when they hear the beginning of Terrapin, it just takes them somewhere beautiful, you know. The end of Cassidy, most of Cassidy is in Mixolydian. It has that kind of Mixolydian. It has the flat 7 and that kind of natural 4. So I've done a couple videos on it, right? But during the jam, occasionally Brent and Jerry would just start kind of going to that F sharp thing. And that's where you throw in that sharp 4 and you got Lydian. This is totally random, but I want to show you guys a really cool chord, and then I'll end this video. So you have an E, right? Check out this. It's like a modified, it's kind of like the E shape, but it's not. You're playing 3 and 3 on the E and the A. You're having an open D string, and then you're playing the 2nd fret on G, open, open. And alternating between that and E, that's probably one of my favorite chords of all time. What a cool chord, right? I showed you that other cool chord. And then this one. Whoops. Not that one. What a cool sound, right? Anywho, I think I got through all of the modes here, right? Oh, no, I didn't do a one on Phrygian. Oh, Phrygian. I gotta do one last modal video, but this is one of my favorite ones. Sharp 4. Hopefully you guys learned something. Okay. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, join the membership thing. Let's hang out. I want to say, like, if 15 people join, I will start to do like some type of regular live stream where maybe like we can set a day and a time and we'll just hang out for an hour or two, and we can have like open like office hours or something, and or I can show you some of my influences or guitar players that influence me beyond Jerry, or whatever. We can talk about whatever. Okay, good luck.